We are joined by Dr. Timothy Quinn, family physician and board-certified obesity specialist. Doctor, it is good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Natasha.
Is this a game changer? I know that kidney disease affects, I believe, more than 37 million Americans. It's 1 in 7 Americans. Is this going to be a big change?
Most definitely. Ironically, just this morning, my first encounter with my first patient who was a diabetic, I had to tell him and his wife that I was referring him to a nephrologist because his lab results came back showing that he had kidney disease along with his diabetes. And I shared that they were going to monitor his kidneys and make sure that he is safe as possible. The wife just started crying. And she shared that he had a family member that went into dialysis, kidney failure, and soon thereafter lost his life. Ironically, because the producer of News Nation told me that I was going to do this presentation tonight, I prepared. And I had my notes at work, like I was actually going to be studying at work. And I brought my notes out and I shared the flow trial results with the patient that were published in the New England Journal of Medicine. And what I shared was there were 3,533 participants in this trial. Half of the patients got the experimental drug, which ironically I shared. I started the patient on 3 months ago, and the other half got a placebo, meaning they didn't get any medication. The half that got the medication, after 3.4 years of the trial, they had to stop the trial. And the reason was they showed fact-based evidence that those that received the drug, the Ozempic, which was the drug that was the experimental drug in the trial, had a 24% reduction in kidney disease, resulting in dialysis, cardiovascular.
It is always good, Dr. Quinn, when you have to stop a study early because it's just working too well. You do not have to keep going. That is something. And I mean, to your point, dialysis is life-changing for people who have to go on it. And there is such a Venn diagram intersection of people with diabetes and kidney disease. It so often goes hand in hand. I want to ask you, Doctor, semaglutides have come into the public consciousness in such a big way in such a short amount of time. And there are so many Americans who are either already taking this or they are very interested in it. And we are hearing now about so many things beyond diabetes, beyond obesity. We're seeing the early results for helping the heart, PCOS, fatty liver. That is a quarter of Americans right there. Even psoriasis, I think I saw. And now the kidneys. Do you think we're moving in a direction where most Americans are going to be eligible for this medication? Would you support most Americans being on this?
Well, what's going on right now is very encouraging to the medical community. The SELECT study, which came out about a year ago, showed that there's a 20% reduction in cardiovascular disease if the individuals in the study were living with obesity and had a history of having a heart attack or a stroke. The individuals in this study were determined if they take the Wegovy, which is the brand product of semaglutide, which is a GLP-1 produced by Novo Nordisk, had a 20% reduction in having another stroke or heart attack. What resulted from this is now some of the insurances are allowing you to do the prior authorization. And when you do the prior authorization, if the medicine is not covered, then you put in there that they've had a heart attack or a stroke, and now it's fact-based research proven the insurance is paying for it. So the more this research goes on, the more that the data, without a doubt, shows fact-based evidence that these medications can not only, as a lot of people think, help you lose weight as far as vanity, because it's so big in social media right now, but it can save your life, give you a higher quality of life.
Dr. Quinn, I have to ask you, because we're almost out of time, but it's really important. There are side effects, the pancreatitis, the gallbladder issues, the nausea, the GI upset. But importantly, in animal studies, semaglutide did cause thyroid cancer, thyroid tumors in rats. Are you concerned at all that we have not seen humans taking this long enough? I believe it's only been approved for 7 years for humans here in the U.S., that we don't know definitively it will not cause these really scary things like thyroid cancer?
What's so important is that these medications are prescribed by medical providers that are experienced with these medications and understand the questions to ask before they start the patients on this medicine. My big fear is a lot of people are getting this medicine on the internet and they're not getting the proper screening. I'm advising everybody to visit your medical provider that has experience with these medications so that you could be properly screened. And if you're provided this medication, you're in the safest position possible.
Okay. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.